Hi, fourth graders. Today we will pick up with chapter 30 of Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. And remember in chapter 29, just to activate your schema, that tiger appeared and has injured the dragon. So Minley is off to get help. She's not quite sure what happened to Dragon, but he has a scratch and it's evident that his health is deteriorating. So chapter 30. Minley's feet pounded against the rocky ground, fighting the uneven earth as she climbed upward. It was difficult. The wind carved rocks and boulders seemed to grow from the ground like trees, confusing her way and disrupting her balance. Minley was so intent on her movement that she almost didn't notice a low growl, but she halted as soon as she heard it. The tiger. She could see the tip of its green tail ahead over one of the large, misshapen rocks. Quietly, she grabbed a sharp-looking stone from the ground and crept forward. I don't know about you, but right now I'm feeling a little scared. I don't know that I would have that I would be brave enough to keep going. The tiger is a little mysterious and, in my mind, a little bit dangerous. There it was, in a clearing of flat stone. The evil animal was pacing back and forth as if it were waiting. Minley tightened her grip on the stone. Then she gasped. A plump little girl, dressed in brilliant red, was running toward the tiger. Before Minley could scream a warning, someone from behind her pulled her down and covered her mouth. Shh, the voice said, and Minley looked into the eyes of a small boy who seemed to be the same age as the girl. Underneath a gray blanket he was using like a cape, she could see flashes of quilted red clothing that matched the girl's. His face was round and pink, as if it were more used to laughing than the serious frown it wore now. She nodded at his panicked gestures to keep quiet. "Oh, great green tiger!" The little girl threw herself on the ground in a trembling before the beast. "Powerful spirit of the magistrate, my worthless ancestors angered. My brother and I were sent to you as the sacrifice you demanded." The tiger roared furiously and the girl cowered. "I'm sorry," the girl said, her voice quivering. "My brother and I were sent to you, but on the way here, another monstrous beast attacked us. He took my brother, and so there is only me." The tiger made an outraged sound. "Yes, another beast," the girl said. "This is what happened." Now, I don't know about you, I'm monitoring for meaning. I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. So these two kids were sent. They're saying that this tiger is a powerful spirit and they were sent as a sacrifice? I don't know. Let's see what this story, and sorry, with all the light, it's hard to see in here. The story the girl told the green tiger. Your message to the family caused an uproar. There was a great wailing and crying as Agong, our grandfather, told us that you demanded 2 children every month to be sacrificed to you. It was payment for the insult our ancestors caused you, he said, and if we paid, you would leave the rest of the family in peace. It was a high price, but we knew with your immense power and strength, we could not disobey. So my brother and I chose to be the first 2 children. As the family wept, my brother and I left our home to go with you. But as we made our way to meet you, an evil beast jumped from the rocks. He looked like you, only not as strong or mighty, of course, and he was dark, the color of a night shadow. He roared at us, but as we trembled to the ground, I cried out, "Do not eat us, beast! We belong to the great green tiger." And the beast stopped his roar at my words. "Green tiger?" he growled. "Yes," I said. "We are sacrifices for the great green tiger. We are not for you. If you attack us, you may make the mighty green tiger angry, and he will destroy you." "Destroy me?" The beast laughed. The green tiger is an old weakling. No, my brother protested. The great green tiger is the most powerful beast of all. None can defy him. The beast laughed again. A paper pig is more mighty than the green tiger. I will take you, but leave the other for him. Pathetic dog that he is. And with that, the girl said, he took my brother and dragged him into his cave. The girl burst into sobs as Minley stole a glance at the boy. The boy looked a bit sheepish, but again put his fingers to his lips for quiet. The tiger growled with impatience. As he disappeared, he said, the girl swallowed nervously at the green tiger's furious face. Tell the green tiger that his son, the king, left you out of pity for his poor, feeble father. And with those words, the green tiger roared with such a rage that even the stones seemed to shudder. Minley quaked and the boy held her arm even tighter. I can show you his den where he dragged my brother, the girl quivered. The tiger nodded at the girl with narrowed eyes seething with fury. Shaking, the girl got up and began to lead the tiger away from the clearing. Minley, with the boy beckoning, silently followed. And that, my friends, is the end of chapter 30. I'm still a little confused. What I'm thinking is, we know the boy is there. So what is that making you predict? What are you thinking is happening there? I'm predicting that maybe it's some sort of setup. Are they trying to trick the tiger perhaps? But then I'm wondering who would be having them trick the tiger. Here's our next chapter. Chapter 31. Minley and the boy followed from a distance, past sharp rocks and jutting boulders. The girl finally stopped in another clearing. It was only when Minley and the boy pressed up behind one of the rocks that she realized it was once a stone carving, and the clearing was the ruin of an abandoned house, now mostly worn away by the wind. Here, the girl said, the beast dragged my brother into that cave. She pointed to a strange hole in the ground. Minley scarcely recognized it as a large abandoned well. The rocks around the opening were rough and cracked, and a ripped piece of red fabric lay torn on one of the sharp stones. Minley looked at the boy and saw his ripped pants. He smirked. The beast? Your son? The girl faltered. Is in there? He also said, the tiger growled at her to continue. He said that, and the girl swallowed in fear, that you would be too much of a coward to confront him. The tiger ferociously, stalked to the edge of the well and snarled into the blackness. I want to activate your schema about what that word coward means. When we were reading the Hope Chest, that came up. And the coward is not being brave enough to do something, right? The deep well was full of shadows, but the dark water caught the reflection of the tiger's menacing eyes and sharp teeth. Full of wrath, the tiger growled at his own reflection, thinking it was a black beast. As the reflection growled back, the tiger gave a ferocious roar. The roar echoed back. That's him, the girl said. He's mocking you. Outraged, the tiger clawed the stone ground and snarled again, even louder and angrier. How dare he, the girl said. He insults you, your own son. The girl's words and his own echoing roar set the green tiger off into a frenzy. The air seemed to be charged with his uncontrollable fury. Every hair on the tiger seemed to jut up like sharp spikes, and his teeth and eyes glittered like the cutting edge of a knife. He gave a deafening roar that bellowed, filling the sky with thunder. At its sound, the girl fell to the ground, and Minley and the boy covered their ears. The tiger bared his teeth and claws for an attack, and when the roar echoed back, it overwhelmed him with wild rage. Finally, the green tiger gave one last roar and leapt into the well. The girl, boy, and Minley stood frozen as the air filled with roars and the sound of splashing water. Then, suddenly, the wind carried one last howl into the sky. There was silence. Minley stared in disbelief. The green tiger was gone. So how would you summarize what just happened? This event that I'm inferring is pretty important because now somebody who's caused harm to the dragon and was putting them in danger is no longer around. But I have lots of questions about this boy and this girl, and where did they come from, and who sent them? And was the green tiger really asking for children to a month as a sacrifice? I'm not sure, but I have lots and lots of questions. How about you? Chapter 32. What are you predicting it's going to be about? I'm wondering if this is the little boy and girl. We did it! We did it! The boy and girl laughed as they ran to each other and hugged. They both were younger than Minley. She realized that they were twins. Their round faces, dancing eyes, and pink cheeks were exactly the same. The gray blanket that the boy had used to help hide himself was thrown on the ground, and with their dimpled faces swollen with smiles and their matching bright red clothing, they looked like two rolling berries. Minley couldn't help but smile. And as they laughed and congratulated each other, another voice called in the distance. "Afu! Dafu!" the voice cried. "Where are you?" The children looked at each other. "Agong!" the girl said, and then together they called, "Here! We're over here!" A tall, gray-haired man burst into the clearing. A bag was strapped onto his back, and in one hand he held a sword, and in the other a spear. As soon as he saw the children, both weapons clattered to the ground, and they ran into his arms. "Afu, Dafu!" he cried. "We were so worried." "We did it, Agong," the boy said. "We did it. We destroyed the tiger just like we said we would." "Yes," the girl said. "Our plan worked. We tricked him into the well, just like we said we would." "You were not supposed to do that," the man said, holding them tightly. "We told you it was too dangerous." "That's why we sneaked away," the girl said. "We knew it would work. We used his anger against him, just like you said we should. You said he was even angrier at his son, and his anger would blind him. And it did." "I didn't say you should do anything," the man said, kneeling with his hands on both of their shoulders. "You were not supposed to go after the green tiger yourselves." "You're not angry, right?" the boy said. "Now no one will have to be scared anymore. We can let the animals out of the house and go outdoors again." "Oh, Dafu," the grandfather said, hugging them even closer. "Afu, as long as you are both safe, that is all that matters." Then the gray-haired man saw Minley watching them. "Ah, who is this?" he said, beckoning Minley closer. Before either child could say a word, Minley rushed up with a hurried bow. "Please," she said, "my friend, the green tiger, injured him, and he's hurt, and—" The grandfather quickly pushed the children off of him and stood up. "Hurt by the green tiger?" he said. "Take me to your friend quickly. It is lucky I have brought the medicine bag with me. Dafu, get your blanket and give it to the girl. She is cold." The boy ran for his blanket, stopping to pick up the torn fabric from his pants, and brought it to her. Minley wrapped the gray blanket around her. She was grateful for its warmth, but even more grateful that the man wanted to help immediately. "How long ago was your friend injured?" the man asked as he urged her to lead the way. After Minley told him, he shook his head. "We must hurry then," he said. "The green tiger is no ordinary beast. His teeth and his claws are poison. Without the medicine I have, he will die before seeing the sunset." Minley swallowed hard and quickened her pace. The wind seemed to scream a warning, and even under the layer of Dafu's blanket, she felt cold. Would they be too late? Would they be able to save the dragon? I just want to share a prediction I was thinking about when the grandfather, Aegon, said, "We must go right away. I have the medicine." What I was thinking is maybe if someone was injured by that angry green tiger, that maybe if they scratched them, they would share that anger or spread that anger. And so for a little bit, I was predicting the dragon might become really furious and really just fierce and not as friendly. But now that we get to this, the end of this chapter, I realized my prediction wasn't really that true, right? But now I'm wondering, will they get to him on time? So let's go ahead and do one more chapter today. And sorry, the lighting is really crazy. There you go. This is chapter 33. "He's in here," Minley called to Dafu, and their grandfather, pointing to the cave opening. Even before reaching the entrance, Aegon was already holding the medicine bottle in his hand. As they rushed inside, Minley was relieved to hear Dragon's rasping breath. He was still alive. But as the children and their grandfather saw him lying in the dim light, they stopped, shocked still. "Your friend? Your friend," the boy said in awe, "is a dragon?" The old man recovered from his surprise. "It matters not," he said to them. "Quickly, where is his wound?" Minley carefully unwound her blanket from Dragon's arm and winced. The gashes seemed to have burned into him like evil coals. The blackness had spread, and his arm looked like a burnt tree. Swiftly, the man pushed Minley aside and began to pour the liquid from the medicine jar over Dragon's black arm. The tonic was a clear yellow green with a gentle aroma of fresh flowers and grass, reminding Minley of a spring morning. As it washed over Dragon's diseased arm, his tightly closed eyes relaxed and the grimace on his face smoothed, as if a deep pain was relieved. The medicine melted the dark poison. The blackness seemed to be rinsing away, and Dragon's breathing became easier and even. Minley sighed. She hadn't realized until then that she had been holding her breath. She knew even before the man smiled that the dragon was going to be okay. "Dafu," the old man said, and Minley realized that he was calling both his grandchildren with a single name. "Go home and tell the family what has happened and where I am, or they will worry. I need to stay with the dragon. Tell Amma and the women to make more medicine, and when it is ready, bring it to me. This dragon will need to drink it when he wakes up." "Thank you," Minley said softly. The man turned and looked at her wind-burned face, tangled hair, and eyes shadowed with weariness. "He is going to be fine," the grandfather said to her kindly, and then turned back to the children. "Dafu, bring this girl home and tell Amma to take care of her. She has not slept in a warm bed for a long time." "I want to stay with Dragon," Minley protested. "I want to help him." "I will stay with him," the old man said to her. "Don't worry. He'll be fine. You have already helped him." Minley opened her mouth to argue, but a yawn formed instead, and she realized the man was right and nodded her head. The boy took one of Minley's hands, and the girl took the other, and they led her out of the cave. Take a minute just to listen to your metacognition. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking? And I'll see you next time for Chapter 34.